In this video, I'd like to talk about making your own Vaporub with coconut oil. Have you ever felt like this? Well, of course you have. We all have. Nose all red and stopped up, probably dripping, throat congested, probably coughing, chest all tight and knotted up. In other words, you have a really crappy cold, maybe even the flu, and you feel awful. So what do you do when you feel like this? Well, here's some of the products that people use. We're using Vaporub here, even though it's a trade name, so it's not exactly accurate to call it all Vaporub. But probably everybody's had some Vicks in their life where you rub it all over your chest and your throat. And here's some of the competitors. Nothing unusual about any of this. The directions say use on your chest or throat to temporarily relieve cough and congestion. Good deal if you feel terrible. And use on muscles and joints to temporarily ease minor pain, like this poor fellow. Well, what's in this stuff? Well, it's not too terrible a product, really. Notice in here we've got eucalyptus oil and menthol. Those are important. But let's see what else is in here. Let's look at camphor first. Camphor is made from turpentine, and turpentine comes from pine trees. That sounds pretty harmless, doesn't it? I mean, here's a pine cone hanging on a tree. Everybody's seen a pine tree. I have a bunch in my yard or close to me. They're very, nice trees, no big deal. However, here's a quote that you might want to consider. Ingesting camphor can cause severe side effects, including death. Do not use camphor on children. Keep camphor-containing products away from kids because they could be having seizures or even death if they're eaten. And this is the site here. See, here's the thing. You know how little kids are? They put everything right in their mouth. And the one thing that I've harped on in this course and will continue to harp on is that the skin is two ways. Think about it. If you put one of these mentholatum rubs on your chest, if it doesn't go into your skin, then it's not going to do any good. So even though we're not eating camphor, we're still getting it in our bodies. Another one, special petrolatum. I guess that's how you'd say it. So what is that? Well, there you go. It's some kind of oil product, petroleum, the black gold, as they call it, that comes right out of the ground. And turpentine oil, we've already talked about turpentine, that it comes from pine trees. Well, here's from the CDC. Turpentine, immediately dangerous to life or health, and they give the concentrations. And of course, we're not sitting around drinking it. This is all minor amounts. But it's overwhelming the amount of chemicals in our bodies, and the fewer we have, the better. So here's the point. It's very simple. It's very easy, and it's even cheaper to make your own if you have the ingredients, which if you must have coconut oil if you're watching this course, or you're going to get some soon. Here's a recipe that comes from lots of different sources. They all say approximately the same thing. 2 tablespoons to a 1/4 cup of coconut oil, depending on how much you're going to need. If your whole family's sick, definitely go for the 1/4 cup. And some essential oils. So first, you either melt the coconut oil or follow our directions for the beauty oil that's in the section on coconut oil and beauty uses. And then you use these oils. Now, most of the time when I give some of these recipes, I'll say, okay, use the oil because you want to make it smell good, but it doesn't really matter. If you don't care about the smell, forget the essential oil. However, remember that the original recipe that we just looked at had eucalyptus and menthol. So you want to use these essential oils when you whip up any Vaporub. It would be good to have those, especially when winter comes or you think your kids are getting a cold. So you want to use eucalyptus, menthol, or peppermint, because menthol comes from the mint family. I personally have never had any menthol oil, but I have peppermint all the time. So all you have to do is prepare your coconut oil, add that stuff, and use it to your heart's content. It's perfectly safe, it's inexpensive, and it'll do the job. So why not use this wonderful concoction here next time you feel bad or your family does?